Today is November 13th, and we are giving our official off-season plans. Let's talk Yanks.
Talkin' Yanks with old Jomboy, Jomboy Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talkin' Yanks with old Jomboy, Jomboy Jake. Talkin' Yanks with old Jomboy, Jomboy Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. I apologize about my voice. Cold is running through my family of 3 toddlers, and I have no voice, and this is what you have to listen to. My name is Jimmy. BBD is here. Jake is on a much deserved vacation, but he left us videos of his plan. So we'll have Jake's plan. We'll have my plan. Episode is brought to you by SeatGeek, where you can use code YANKS10 to get 10% off any set of tickets. 10% off any tickets with promo code YANKS10 at SeatGeek. They've got an app. They make things easy. They got over 28 million downloads on their app. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Okay, usually I talk too fast to do like the plus speed, like the 1.5 speed. We've always talked about how Jake and I talk at different speeds, and if you do 1.5, I'm too fast, but Jake sounds good. This might be a 1.5 for the people. I just can't really speed up. Lack of voice. We will be going over the Yankees' plans. We are at the warehouse. Jake is not here, as I said. Cashman just talked to the media, so we got some clues. Cashman's pretty good at, over the years, it felt like he was tipping his hand or letting you know one thing, but then it doesn't happen. But then, he could have been trying. It's getting harder and harder to read these. It's probably by design by Brian because, there's some comments he said. My brain went initially, oh, he's selling that guy. Or, okay. He did concretely say they need to get a starting pitcher because they're going to start the year with 3 guys on the IL. And that wasn't part of my plan at all. So that's tough. If you listened to this episode last year, BBD puts together a sheet. We have all of their salaries on there, the guys that are arbitration, like their projected arbitration, what they're getting, the guys that are staying, the free agents come off. And then we roll with the $304 million tax level, which is the Cohen tax level, and that's the reports every year that Hal wants to stay right around there. Last year, we did 2 episodes of this. If Soto stays, if Soto doesn't. They were fun exercises. Me and Jake enjoyed the process. I haven't heard Jake's plan yet, and he hasn't heard mine because I did it after he went away. The only thing that Jake and I shared with each other was this was not a fun exercise. This year, the free agents available, like if you're just doing free agents, it's not a fun exercise. I looked at trades more. The Yankees do have trade capital. They traded 7 pitchers away at the deadline, and they have like 4 more that people think are likely to get traded or have value on the trade market. Lagrange, how do they say it?
Lagrange.
Lagrange, my guy Lagrange. He might be on the move. They also have Jones and Dominguez if they want to move one of them or if they believe in them. So they do have like the ability to make trades. And that is not just Yankee bias. If you look at the articles, like one of the articles was listing all the potential trades, all the potential players that might be traded this winter. And one of the like top 10, it just said Yankees prospects.
It might have even said specifically like pitching prospects.
Yeah, it said Yankees pitching prospects. It was like in the top 20, players. I was like, oh.
And we had heard similar things to that notion like before the trade deadline and stuff, and they didn't even trade away like the guys we were talking about then in a trade deadline where they did a lot of moves.
Yes. So
they still have all those.
So they can make some big trades. I don't know if they will. the 304 million, I don't know if they blow over that. If they do stay around there, it's kind of tough to build a team that you really think improves, especially if you think they need a catcher and a shortstop. Now, I think the Yankees don't think they need a catcher and a shortstop, so they probably differ from us and think, what are you talking about? Like, we can get everything we need. If they believe they don't need an infielder, anyone that stands on dirt, they're like, we're good. Where I think they need 2 or 3 guys that stand on dirt. So we can get into that. Before we do, it is the off-season, little company-wide updates. Tonight, Team Baggage, I'm wearing it if you're watching on YouTube. We play our first game in a blitzball battle. Jake and I. Team Baggage won its first tournament, but Jake wasn't part of it. He was away, so it's a big hub. People are mad at us, saying Jake doesn't deserve to have a banner, that he can still get skunk patched. Jake coming into this blitzball battle pretty
He was hungry.
Pretty like short guy, determined, like the most Jake's ever had high school wrestler energy. He also got like a fuckboy haircut, remember?
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So game one.
We did the barber this year.
Yeah. So game one is tonight on the Warehouse Games at 7:30. If you want to tune into some sports that are during the off season that aren't actually sports, you can. And then the other thing is we have launched a new show, a new wing of the company with 2 hosts. And one of the hosts is a pretty boy professional player. He is the Trevor Plouffe of the show. And the other guy is a super fan. He looks like me, has the energy of Jake. So it's kind of like we've opened this new wing of Cricket World. They're launching a brand. It's called That's Cricket. So I know a lot of you guys are not, but there are some people that watch the Yankees and also, enjoy cricket. Many people will be like, no, there's not, but there are. We know because they reach out. You can tune in to That's Cricket, and we'll be doing stuff. Jake appeared on an episode, and we'll be covering the Ashes extensively, which begins soon. And we're going to have Adam on next week's show to talk about it, compare Australian players to Yankees players. Test cricket is daunting. If you are a sports, like if you're in the thick of sports, if you like watching the Masters and like a 4-day tournament, or every game of a playoff series, if you like, I wish it was a 9-game series. The Test cricket, the Ashes, it's a whole new level of watching a game unfold. It's the action can be very slow at times, but the drama and the storylines are unbelievable. First time I watched one and fully understood what I was like chewing on, I was like, this is wild. So that's around the company, and Joe's will be joining us after the plan to talk about the A-Rod doc. All right, catch my breath, and we will get into it with Jake's plan.
Skims, guys, let's talk about comfort, where it matters most. Your underwear. We all wear it, so why not wear Skims? Skims, the brand known for revolutionizing shapewear, has now launched a line of men's underwear that's about to change your daily routine because they have an option for every underwear performance. Skims helps take the guesswork out of underwear, and they are truly a gift you can get excited for this season. I think they're very comfortable. They've sent us several pairs. I've been able to make away with a couple of them. Very, very comfortable stuff. Makes you feel, secure, but also just lightweight, and it's good. It's a good day when I can break out the Skims big game performance, so to speak. I'm recording this at the warehouse. I feel like I can do anything when I'm wearing my Skims. in the warehouse. Shop Skims at skims.com. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcasts in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gifts this season, the Skims holiday shop is now open at skims.com.
Okay, to set the scene here, or the balance sheet, if you're looking at it on the YouTube, the Yankees have shedded $5 million, and that's all. They did not take the option on Jonathan Loaizaga, so that's $5 million gone, which means right now the total salary is $235,258,000, meaning there's $47.7 million remaining to get to that $304 million. And if you look at who's making the most money, there are only 8 guys making more than $10 million. I don't know if that feels like light.
Yeah, for the Yankees?
I mean, for the Yankees.
Yeah.
For teams with giant payrolls. Like, this is an aside, but in the meantime, if you could pull up, Dodgers are obviously a good example. But what about the Phillies?
Let's see.
What about the Red Sox? I wonder, obviously we have Judge at the top making $40 million a year and Garrett Cole making $36. So we have 2 very big ones at the top. Max Fried is making $27. Carlos Rodon is making $27. Stan's making $22. Then the next 2 are the most disappointing in a way. DJ LeMahieu's got $15 million on the books in dead money. That stinks. That was how they did contracts. I don't feel like they're doing it. No, they still are. Some teams are still doing that. Ryan McMahon makes $11 million. You're like, I wish he could hit. Can he hit? Are we banking on him hitting? Because if we're not banking on him hitting, that's a lot for a glove. And then Jazz is making 10.2 in arbitration. So yeah, I was surprised how I thought they would have had more over that 10. But then I don't know. I don't know if that's normal or not normal.
The Phillies, who I think are a good comparison, at least anecdotally, they also are 8 guys making $10 million or more.
Okay, so maybe it's normal then.
And they have Schwarber's just a free agent, but the Yankees had Belly just become a free agent, so it's probably a good comp.
Last year, the Red Sox had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm wrong. It's normal. They had 7. Okay.
Cool.
So Jake is going to deliver his plan in bit pieces so we can stop and talk about it. And maybe I'll just intertwine mine as we go because I didn't finish mine because I was like, this kind of stinks. It's not a fun exercise. So let's hear what Jake was doing.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Jimmy. If you're getting this message, that means I'm in the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. No. Maybe. But that would be pretty dark if you're doing that now, but that would be on your guys. Anyways, my off-season plan. As you guys know, this is one of my favorite things to do. So we will chop it up in order. We will do some of the decisions that have to be made, and then I will get you. I think I have 1 trade. Oh, I have 2 trades. Oh, boy. And then I have 2 free agents. So let's get into it. With the Yankees arbitration decisions that they have to make, Jazz is fine. Bednar is fine. Doval is actually fine. I know like the 6.6 might be kind of shocking for what we saw from Doval, but also know that we got a weird sample. We kind of saw what his good looks like, and there's not a lot of people that can do what he does. It is interesting. The Yankees bullpen that came or made us pretty scared towards the end. We do have options back there. Anyways, one person that could be creative is Clark Schmidt if you're juggling money. Because Clark's going to miss a chunk of this year, what the Yankees could do is pay him a little less this year and pay him more next year and guarantee his salary. Some teams have done that with ARB guys. I don't think we need to get there. I guess when the money starts getting close, that's something I could use as my shuffle. Non-tenders. Jonathan Loaizaga already happened. Bang. Mark Leiter Jr., I'm sorry. I appreciate who Mark Leiter is, and I think he deserves a major league contract. But that number was a little rich for my blood. Could the Yankees keep him and make him a part of a trade? Maybe, I guess, if a team wants to tap into Mark Leiter. I think it would just be easier to move on. So that is one of the places that I'm saving a couple bucks off the start. The only other decision that I've clearly made, Heel, Volpe, Tim Hill is on the team, Caballero, Cruz, Bird, is Waldo. So where a couple decisions have to be made, and this is scraping the bank a little bit, Cousins, Efros, and Hamilton. I have currently got rid of Hamilton. I know the Yankees liked him. I don't know if they do anymore. He doesn't have options. Like the Yankees haven't had a bullpen with a lot of options to go in a while. So I currently have him off. And, like, again, I don't know where Jake Cousins is in his Tommy John surgery. So if I need to shave another $800K there, I can do that. I believe Efros does have options. That would be the only keep.
I believe so.
I can double check that.
But if you just need the 40-man spot, if it came down to it, you could take or leave kind of any of them if it.
Right, and we're talking, I guess, at the end of this, because I do come against the fake Cohen tax number. That's kind of how the Yankees have operated. I think at the end I might need a little bit of those scrapings, but those are currently the decisions that I'm making.
How much money does that combine for? Because I agree with him, especially if you look at lack of options. Like,
yeah, and I mean, just cleaning up 40-man stuff that would get, a decent chunk of change and 40-man roster flexibility.
Because he had Leiter, Cousins, and Hamilton, and they all don't have options, so they're very limiting, and that's $4.7 million.
Yes,
combined.
Plus, if you can DFA any of Vivas, who's out of options, and Winans, I believe they won't be able to option next year, or if they just need the 40-man spot. Sandwich.
Yeah.
They have DFA candidates as well that we didn't.
Yeah, obviously Cousins and Hamilton have a lot of years. Like, if you wanted to keep them, they have 3 more years, but they're out of options already. So that would only be good if they were like studs.
Yeah, and Cousins specifically, Hamilton makes over the minimum straight up. It just has been hurt, and not good this year. Cousins had Tommy John in his. If he's going to play at all this year, it's like second half maybe. Which do you want to use a 40-man spot all off season on? Just preserving that.
What would be the
timeline? A little more than the minimum.
What would be the timeline? Like, do they have to make these decisions soon?
These decisions are due pretty soon. I don't know the exact date. It might be, I think, next week for 40-man protections. So,
and if
non-tenders are, I think, the 21st, the week after.
And if they give them the contract, like the ARB, they would have to trade it away.
Yes, if they can tender them a contract and still plan to trade them away.
I think, I think that's almost $5 million, $4.7 million. Like, yeah, I agree with Jake. I agree with his plan there. I don't know if they'll do it, but I also agree. Like, Efros has options, and if you believe in him, he can still come up and down. But those guys don't have options, so they can't send them up and down. If they start the year in the bullpen, they're there until they're gone. Maybe you keep one of them, the one who's the healthiest. But yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so Jake shed more money.
He got a few million off the books.
So his plan he kept Efros, right?
I think there's definitely room for him to do more. He kept Efros.
So he got it to $52.5 million available.
Just about.
Okay, so what's he do with the 52.5? I like that.
Okay, so on BBD's math calculator here, it says I have $46.7 million.
Oh.
That's currently with Cousins on there.
Okay. Cousins.
And maybe that works. I don't know. But that's currently the numbers the Yankees really have.
I have a different number then.
To play with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the biggest fish first. I am re-signing Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger can play a fine center field. He plays a great left field. He can play a great right field if you need it. He can play a great first base. We saw the versatility. It is really interesting. I have him getting paid $26 million a year. That's what a lot of the websites are around. The $26 million times 6 and the $26 million times 7 the numbers feel a lot different. I think it's like 7,183 or something, where it's 6,150 something. For whatever reason, mentally, that just feels a little clearer. I don't think I did my math great there, but I do have Cody Bellinger coming back. I have him as our center fielder. If not, the options get pretty limited pretty quick. He fits Yankee Stadium. We like everything about Cody. I'm bringing Cody back.
I also have that as a plan. I have that as a priority. I'd rather bring Cody Bellinger back than Tucker. Tucker creates a little more. I mean, it's helpful, but he's a right fielder. Yankees need left field, first base, center field. Like, once again, Bellinger fits it. But a lot of teams are going to be interested in him because of that. So it could become bidding. Hopefully he enjoyed his time. I don't know. I have Bellinger coming back. It really, really helps out.
Trent Grisham has accepted the qualifying offer. Cody Bellinger will not be a Yankee, and my money math just becomes easier, but it's probably still the same plan.
So we haven't got to talk about that. Grisham did get a qualifying offer. Maybe he accepts, maybe he doesn't.
Yeah. Cashman said yesterday we'd be happy if he accepts. And then he said, like, we still think we could bring Bellinger back. Yeah, I don't think Grisham's going to accept the qualifying offer. When's that deadline?
I believe that it's right around the same time as non-tender day. I think in 2 weeks or so.
I mean, because Jake's I'm the way I'm looking at it, Jake has 51 mil remaining, but he said he has 47. If Grisham accepts the qualifying offer, it's 20 mil. So the 47 goes to 27. It's like so. I was very surprised they offered it to him. I know they want a center fielder, so they might. I don't know. I'm very surprised they offered it to him.
Hey, maybe that they offered it to him means that 300, 304 isn't as strict, and that would be, as a fan, very, very good news.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I'm hoping Grish says no and they bring back Belly. That's part of my plan as well.
Hey, I have one more free agent that jumped out to me. And for me, that ended up being in the bullpen. It is the lefty Gregory Soto. High velocity lefty. His his problem has come with control previously. That I think with Tim Hill in the bullpen, he is the other lefty we've been looking for that can give you a different look and different velocity. I do have Brent Hedrick as a part of the team, at least out of spring. I don't know where his health will be at. I don't know where his performance is at. That I want another major league lefty I can tap onto. And I think the website I tapped into had Gregory Soto as like a setup man, which again, that's not the highest regard. It had him at $6 million a year. The sinker sat at 97 last year. So again, we're looking for velo for this bullpen. If I could get his arm talent with Matt Blake, there has been some walk issues in the past, but this is where Matt Blake and the Yankees have thrived. That I'm signing Gregory Soto for $6 million as the potential high leverage velo lefty in the pen.
Okay. I didn't have that. I tried to round out other places before the bullpen, but now Cashman's quotes are saying that he wants to get a starter, and then there's quotes about them liking Giolito, which I don't know how that factors in, but $6 million for Soto. I mean, yeah, I want it. So this is where I made other moves that I liked, and then was like, wait, I want to get relievers. Oh no, I'm out of money. So sure, Soto, lefty with heat.
Strikes guys out. A strikeout lefty feels like a need for the pen on top of just being good.
Yeah. Okay. What does Jake do next?
This is where the funk starts to kick in a little bit. I've been struggling with this Yankees offseason. As I've told you guys, there seems to be not a lot of crisp answers. And again, as we're playing these games, maybe there's a world where Cashman is just going to go ham straight up from baloney. I don't believe in that. They won the same amount of regular season games as the Blue Jays, who went to Game 7 of the World Series. Kind of should have won. Anyways, none of our business. I have a trade to announce. I do have the Yankees trading with the Philadelphia Phillies for Alec Bohm, And this is a little jakey kicker that I'll leave in for this. This is Talkin Yanks, so screw it. I have them getting Orion Kerkering. Orion Kerkering, unfortunately, will be famous in Philly culture for being the guy that made that final play that lost them the Dodgers series. On a la Trent Grisham, what a better place to eventually become restored after having a moment like that to the Yankees. So, the Yankees have some talented arm prospects that are interesting. I don't think there's anything on the major league roster that Philly would really be eyeing. Bohm is projected to make around 10, and Ryan Kerkering, he's still around the minimum, so that would bring us a little over 10. Hey, I should have talked about Bohm more because he's kind of the main piece of the trade. A can play third and first. I don't think Ben Rice is going to be a part of the catching plan. I know Ben Rice can catch. I don't think Ben Rice is a part of the catching plan. I think they want to put him at first base. I think they want him to hit before or after Judge, which, again, pretty wild in the Ben Rice realm. But you need to ensure yourself on Ben Rice and Ryan McMahon, and you could do that in one player with Bohm. He can hit lefties. He can play third base at a respectable level. It's not his strength. And he's got a career where he has hit, where I think the Phillies are looking to make a change. He is a career 279 hitter, hit 287 last year. In 120 games, he only struck out 82 times. So, he has the contact bat that I think is going to become more sexy in baseball. He was a former third overall pick. And he can play first and third. So in a way, he's Rice insurance, depending however we need to use Ben Rice. He could end up behind the dish again. We saw that. Or if Ryan McMahon, A, really struggles versus lefties, or B, really struggles, you have a little built-in insurance that you have a major league bat that has put up some really nice offensive seasons. So there is long hair, but we've kind of moved past that as an org. And yeah, I think, again, a little change of scenery could be good for Bohm and make the lineup feel different versus lefties. And potentially, if you need to give him a full season of run, he's played over 143 games, 3 straight seasons before last year. The Bohm-Kerkering trade, it's led by prospects. I mean, it would be interesting. Again, moving stuff on the major league roster is really hard for the Yankees, and I don't know what the Phillies would want. Again, it would clear up $10 million from them, and the Yankees get again, Kerkering's a very good reliever with control and velo. That, I think you could give up kind of the prospect hodgepodge, even some of the potential 40-men stuff. I don't think even the second tier of Yankees starting pitching prospects, Cunningham, Hess, I don't think you have to get in there. I think you're clearing $10 million off of Philly's books for Bohm, who they're in a weird spot with. And Kerkering, although he has years of control, end of the day, it's a reliever, probably not a closing reliever, but there's value there. So I don't know. It's Philly's prospects they like, but almost probably nobody you've heard of.
I also stumbled upon a Bohm trade because the first base, third base, right now, Rice and McMahon are both lefties. So to have a righty that can platoon with both of them would be nice. His bat is kind of the back of the lineup bat that I kind of think complements sluggers up top. I talked about this in the office a little bit, and they were like, Phillies fans hate him. And I'm like, well, Phillies fans are comparing him to kind of the other Phillies players. And if they compared him to who's been the back end for Yankees players, I think they'd really like him. If they compare to IKF and Volpe and Donaldson.
Bohm was one of their top prospects once upon a time, not that long ago. So in that scope, he's been a bit disappointing and all that. But
yeah, but I mean, yeah,
it's a quality player.
Look at our top prospects. He's whiff percentage, K percentage. He's good. Last year, he rated out 93rd% for whiff, 80th% for K percentage. Batting average guy, like Jake said. So guy that can get hits, insurance on the corners. My only thing was I wanted to do something else that led to having to trade McMahon, and then Bohm's your guy because McMahon is making $10 million and Bohm would be making less, And obviously McMahon's got the glove. Can he hit? That's the biggest question. But yeah, I also stumbled into this like, oh damn, that would help out what I think they need a little bit. And yeah, I mean, you got pitching prospects. It's minor league prospects because it's only a year of Bohm. No, it's 2 years. No, it's a year.
I think he's 1 year left.
It's
now.
1 year. Yeah, so it's only a year of Bohm. So it wouldn't be a crazy big trade. It'd be some pieces. He makes less than McMahon.
Yeah. And I guess in the trade Jake's doing where he's getting a good established reliever too. Like, sure, okay, throw in
Kerkering's going to cost more.
Yeah.
Than Bohm.
It'd be like when they got Canely in that trade. It was like, well, the trade's really for Canely.
Really for Canely.
It's really for Kerkering.
Todd Frazier wasn't the main piece because Kerkering, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 years. I think, and Jake said this himself, that's a little bit Yankee greedy. And throw in your young reliever with years. But yeah, I also was interested in bringing Alec Bohm over and having a righty option in the corners and figuring it out. But I kind of wanted to do another bigger move, which led to then having to trade McMahon to clear up money. So I'll see. Is that all? Like, what more can Jake do?
He has another move. The other thing, when he and I talked about this Bohm trade, it didn't make it into this video, but just after we talked about it, and it was obviously he hits lefties very well. He holds his own against righties too. If in the way Jake's using him as sort of the platoon for both of them, if either Rice or McMahon miss any time, like you could comfortably just start him. Like you're trading. In your plan, it sounds like you're going to be trading for him to just be the third baseman. So, just emphasizing the point of you can start him against whoever. It's not like he only hits lefties.
Yes,
it's not like Goldie.
Yeah,
last
I
year.
mean McMahon's glove is great. You hope the bat can be a full-time bat.
And then I believe this should be Jake's final move, and after that we'll have one.
He's
more.
almost out of money.
He is almost out of money.
My final move is another trade, and again, It says I have $4 million left, and essentially I would need $6 million, which with creative accounting between either, okay, Belly's contract, the first year is actually 24 and the second year is 28, or they do something creative with Clark, or I think if I shave Cousins off there, we're pretty near the number. So this is my only fake math that I'll let the Yankees geeks figure out. I do need a catcher to challenge Wells. And man, when you look around, there's 2 catchers that jumped out. Tyler Stevenson looks like a Yankee, clean cut, handsome guy. But he's not Ryan Jeffers. Ryan Jeffers from the Minnesota Twins, career has hit pretty impressive numbers. I was surprised to see. He has a career 105 OPS plus, 741 OPS overall. Big time lefty masher. So, in a way, you're putting a little pressure on Austin Wells. Like, hey, Wellsy, like last year, we need a little more. But at the same time, against lefties last year, Ryan Jeffers, 313, 466 on base, and 885 OPS. So those are mashing numbers. That's Ryan Jeffers hits 5th versus lefties. And I think the Yanks got a little taste of Ahmed Rosario last year that they were like, hey, having an actual platoon guy, that can change how your team feels. He's career 848 OPS versus lefties. And this is just a weird random thing. I forget. Someone told me this, so I hope it's true. But someone asked Jeff Passan who the best thinker player is in the game, and he easily said Ryan Jeffers. So you'd be adding someone to the organization that has a go-to skill. They hit versus lefties. They've been a major league catcher for a while. That we need a righty. I really want a righty who mashes, knowledgeable about the game. A guy that I can already see the spring training athletics story where it's like, this new Yankee has brought the brains to the org. It's Ryan Jeffers. He's slated to make around 6 in ARB. So again, I don't know. Do you throw in an extra prospect so the Twins eat $2 million? Whatever it is to stay under that number, you can get there pretty easily. So Ryan Jeffers as the righty catcher.
I was searching for a righty catcher. I just looked at free agents because I don't know. I stopped. I got daunted by the whole thing. Jake's better at this than me. And the free agent market, it's like Real Muto, and there's another one that you'd be picking him up as a starter and not a platoon guy. So trading for Jeffers, is he a platoon guy? That's kind of my question.
He's caught more than like platoon level, but it'd be kind of like 50-50 split in hot hand with Wells.
This says he started 80 games behind the dish last year.
Oh, I would have guessed more last year. I think years prior he was getting some more, but I guess they've had Vasquez there.
Well, 80 games behind the dish, and then they had maybe DH free.
I think he gets some DH.
26 at DH. Like, he's losing those. How many lefties do you face?
Yankees aren't afraid to do like subs mid game too. So like he'd get into other games. Lefty reliever comes in.
That's true. And you know who loves Ryan Jeffers? And you know who Ryan Jeffers loves? Tanner Swanson, the Yankees catching coach. They got Tanner Swanson because of the work he did with Garver and Jeffers from the Twins. And I believe Ryan Jeffers talks very, very highly of Tanner Swanson. So if this comes up in the room and Tanner Swanson's there, he's probably raising his hand and being like, oh, I like that guy. That would be good. My wonder is, how much do they love the fool's gold they got with Ascara last year? And he was hitting at the beginning. At some point, do they just rock that because it's cheaper? But yeah, I like Jake's plan. He doesn't have a starter, and they said they're going to get a starter, so we'd have to save some money there and figure that out.
Yeah, I think if he was redoing this today after Cashman quotes that make it sound very much like they will be aggressive on getting a starter, I think he'd have found a way to get one in here if he could redo it right now. But candidly, he and I recorded this a week ago. So.
Yeah, before he went. So, yeah, I want a righty catcher really bad to just lessen Wells' burden. It's when they started platooning with Rice, then he started hitting a little bit more. A veteran would be nice. So, yeah, I agree.
Like Wells, to your point on like when they had him playing a little less, he was hitting a little better. I believe he led at least the AL in innings caught last year. That we don't need him to do that. He was a good defender, but
yeah, I mean his hands getting numb every time he catches a ball. It's not good. All right, the only thing that I stumbled upon that like tripped me up was like the top guy that everyone said was going to get might get traded or should be moved was Kwan from the Guardians. And the Yankees need left fielder, and the Yankees need a leadoff hitter. And in my head, Cleveland loves young pitching prospects, and the Yankees have young pitching prospects, and they're going to need some new relievers because some just exited the sport. So I couldn't get off that daydream, and this is obviously Yankees bias and Yankees fever, but this is a Yankees show where we're daydreaming, and I was like, oh my God, if they re-sign Belly and the outfield is Kwan, Belly, Judge, I like that. And if the top of the order is Kwan, Judge, Belly, I like that. And then if Baum is in the back end, I like that. And then I got stuck. I was like, okay. I like Baum and Kwan as a trade. Can you do both? Probably not. Maybe you can. They have a lot of capital, but I don't think the Yankees think they need to do that much shaking up. Kwan would be for 2 years, right? I believe so. So it wouldn't be a true rental.
Yeah, it's a real trade to get.
So you'd
Kwan
have to probably send if you do that, you send Spencer Jones or Dominguez. Cashman definitely talked those guys up talked up their value. Like he said in his press conference, like, well, Jason Dominguez would have started on any other team last year, but Bellinger and Grisham won out. And the Yankees did have the highest offense, and Bellinger and Grisham were very much part of making it. It's not just Judge bringing up like nobodies, like which it was in Judge and Soto brought up Verdugo that year, but like no, Belly and Grisham held their own.
They were actually like good,
but I don't know if he would have started on every other team. So that's where I got stuck because I want a leadoff hitter that makes sense. I like that style of play Kwan brings. Gold Glover in left to get Belly in center. Obviously Judge in right. It's a guy that can play the outfield, plays a lot, does not clog the DH. Belly doesn't clog the DH. Bohm doesn't clog the DH because he's got a role platooning at third and at first. The DH can be Stanton, and then whoever gets hurt, whoever gets banged up, Judge, Rice at times. I got stuck there, and then I ran out of money. And then I couldn't do anymore. I was looking for like a cheap righty catcher. So my plan is incomplete because of that. Like, I like Jake's plan, but that has Dominguez or Jones in left field, correct?
I believe as Jake has it laid out, as I'm looking at the sheet he gave me, that would be using at least one of them on opening day.
And maybe that's fine. But Jones adds to this K percentage, and I'd like more batters at the bottom that don't add to that. And Kwan at the top and then Bohm at the bottom would help out with having batters that are, not adding to the strikeout percentage, which is what every pitcher celebrates the most. And when you look to get pitchers, you look to get pitchers that strike batters out. So when you look to get hitters, you should look to get hitters that don't strike out. But like Boone said, bad contact. What do you say? They said bad contact sucks.
Yeah.
And I don't know who he was talking about, but I thought
Some
of
names
IKF.
came to mind,
IKF
yeah.
came to mind and Verdugo came to mind, for sure. So I also wanted like relievers, but they do have high-end relievers that they're paying, so it's hard. To make another move, you would have to get rid of McMahon because he's making a lot of money if you were to bring over Bohm. But yeah, it's a lot of trades, so that's where I was like, the free agent market doesn't do a ton for me.
Yeah, this year's free agent class, like the group, the tier of free agent that is pretty heavy in this group. Like, it's not a bad free agent class, just objectively looking at baseball, but it's not a lot of waters that I expect the Yankees to be in.
Now, do you think that when they say they want to sure up like a starter to start the year, I don't think they want to go get a big starter with lots of years. Like Giolito might get a 2-year deal, but then you look at some of the veterans that get 1-year deals, like when they brought in Kluber. Who was the other veteran around that time in 2018, 2019, 20? Didn't they bring in another starter in a 1-year deal that was a veteran, or they were thinking about it? I forget.
It rings about. We definitely had to run through a lot of them in the in the Kluber years there.
Yeah. Kluber was 2021.
Kluber was 21.
Did 22 include one of those guys?
Nobody sticks out when I'm looking at the 22 team as who that
No.
was. Because, like Kluber, obviously every year they're going to make some, like, depth moves. Like Kluber, they got, obviously, 2 start for that year. 2020, nobody's screaming at me is who that was.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was like, all right, well, if they're looking for like that, like, you look around, like, are they going to pick up, like, Verlander for a year?
Yeah.
That's
Finished very strong.
Yeah, he finished the season really strong, 1-year veteran presence guy. Like, when they say they're starting pitching is a priority, I can't imagine they're going to go get a big price tag guy.
Yeah, I wonder what exactly that means when they say priority.
So you look at starting pitchers, are they going to go get like a Ranger Suarez? I don't think they can add more lefties as well. Dylan Cease is going to get a ton of money. Michael King is going to get good money. You look at like Merrill Kelly, 2-year deal. Giolito, 2-year deal. Chris Bassett, 2-year deal. Is that what they're going to, Zach Gallen? If they're looking at like 2-year deals, those guys are all projected to get 2-year deals.
Yeah, which of those guys it's going to be like 2 years with the player option?
Yeah. But Verlander's projected like 1 year 15. Scherzer, 1 year 12. Like, is that what they're going to do just to shore it up?
Pitching's expensive.
Scherzer is not like he was out the first half of the season and he just pitched deep into the postseason. So I don't know if you'd get him for injury reasons.
Yeah, Verlander. I hadn't done much thinking about him as a Yankee yet. It's early in the offseason, but
Well, it's a weird thought. But
it's a weird thought. My mind goes to, he and Cole are friends. and that it just makes me happy to think about.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, let us know what you guys think. I too landed on Alec Bohm because of righty on the corners and trading for him and
Where his price point is.
Yeah. And but I know the Quan thing is not likely at all, but it's a daydream I'm kind of just like can't get out of my head. It shores up the outfield if you get Belly and him for like the next 2 years. It leaves DH available because he plays all the time. We need a leadoff hitter. He leads off every game.
It gives you that set and forget.
Yeah. We can't get a guy that's going to need DH days. Like if Jeffers is coming over in Jake's plan, he's going to be a starter versus lefties and a pinch hitter versus lefty relievers, which is that someone you pay $6 million? Maybe. I have no idea. They're going to play Volpe $4 million to just be bad.
That is true.
When that's the fucking evaluator, well, we're paying Volpe $4 million to be hurt and not understand the outside part of the zone. If there's headlines that Volpe is changing his swing or Volpe is got contacts, I'll change my tune. I said this last year. Article came out. It said, I'm not changing anything. It's just going to be my 3rd year in the league, so I have a better understanding of how guys are pitching to me. Okay, dude. Didn't work. So it's not the most fun.
This year it's a very odd exercise to put yourself through. Strenuous is the word I was thinking before.
You got to really believe in what they got and love Wells as the starter. Volpe comes back. He starts. McMahon at 3rd is your starter. Ben Rice is your everyday starter. And I know there's youngins out there who just always want to believe in the youth because I feel like you age out of that, to be honest. Or you're just like, it's either you are young, so you just believe in all prospects, or you're, new to following a team as closely. Because as soon as you follow baseball forever, you realize, no prospects pan out.
Yeah, pick your spots on which guys you truly believe in. And I guess how different are the Yankees from a lot of teams that, a big part of the plan is they need some guys to do better than they did last year.
You need to fill out a roster of prospects. I'm not saying anti that. And you need guys that are, before arbitration. Like the Jazz Chisholm trade was great. Because he's not a free agent. Obviously, you need to go find guys like that. And you want to graduate hitters. You really, really do. They haven't been great at it.
Yeah, and they have given guys a chance, and you have to give guys a chance to prove they can be there and be an option. So,
yeah. All right, that ends the exercise. You guys let us know. What are you doing? Keep the math in mind. And if you're doing this at home and you submit something and you say, well, I blew over the 304 because I think Hal's going to spend more. Well, then you made the exercise way more fun and way easier.
It's we think you could go over maybe gets to 310.
Yeah.
If you're giving yourself the hard budget and really playing the game.
Yeah.
It was hard.
And a lot of guys, players-wise, are going to want to sign 3-year deals, even if it's less value maybe, because they don't, in fear of a strike of sorts.
And not, it's part of the Yankees' calculation, I think, in giving Grisham that qualifying offer is just, he's like him and a lot of players are probably going to be hesitant to sign up to be a free agent right before the lockout, or the expected lockout in a year.
All right. Joe's McFly joining next.
This episode is sponsored by partners over at DraftKings. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. New customers bet $5 and get 3 months of League Pass and win $300 if your bet wins paid in bonus bets. So, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JMBaseball. That's code JMBaseball. You get $300 in bonus bets instantly if your $5 bet hits. Plus, 3 months of NBA League Pass in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. From the pinnacle of baseball's success to the depths of scandal, Alex Rodriguez confronts the two sides of his legacy in the new HBO original documentary series Alex vs. A-Rod. Don't miss Alex vs. A-Rod, now streaming HBO Max. New episodes Thursdays, which at the time we're recording this and releasing, episode 2 will come out tonight.
Yep.
Episode 1 is out. Josie, you were at the premiere of episode 1, as we talked about on this show last week.
Yes.
And I finally got to see it myself last week, so we can, I think, talk about the episode for a few minutes.
Very good. Well, what did you think of it?
I was thoroughly entertained. I am a sucker for just kind of baseball documentaries in general.
Same.
I liked it, and it was obviously I was very aware of A-Rod and everything that was going on during his Yankee years because I was 7 when he became a Yankee, and that's when I was like getting very, very into baseball. I'm like, ooh, I watch most of the games level. So it was kind of really interesting to get what seems like was basically all of pre-Yankees. Probably still going to get a little Rangers in episode 2 and probably talk about the trade to the Yankees. I'm assuming is what's coming.
Yeah.
But especially his Mariners days, I really didn't know that much about. Like, obviously I know he's good and he was number 1 pick and all of that. And they cover that. And obviously a lot of like childhood stuff and stuff with his dad, all of that. But it was genuinely just I enjoyed watching the episode, and I will be watching episode 2 tonight.
Same. My biggest takeaway from the whole thing was, one, I did say last week, how open and honest, it feels like open and honest that he is. But I did say that I did think that the biggest thing was the relationship between him and his dad. I feel like I kind of related to that the most because it's something that, you kind of seek. But he was just talking about how his dad ended up leaving. They ended up and how much that affected him, seeing his mom like that, how she was struggling to pay $547 rent. That specific number sticks in his head. So then that's pretty big because, then a lot was put on his shoulders as a very young kid. Like, he became the man of the house is what his ex-wife said, is like, the responsibility's on you, to be perfect, basically.
Yeah,
so,
from when he was 10 when his dad left, like,
right.
That's pretty nuts.
And he's like, yo, man, like, I went from, we went from cashing food stamp checks to now I got $1 million contract when I signed with the Mariners and I'm playing next to Ken Griffey Jr. It's like, oh, shit. You're like, you almost forget that these are, this is a kid, like, obviously an 18-year-old getting drafted nowadays does not really come up that quickly through a system. I don't remember when was the last time that happened. I think, was it Harper? I don't remember.
Yeah, like A-Rod was still 18 at his MLB debut. Like,
he was going to prom a couple of months ago.
Like,
so
that's crazy.
It is. So that part of it is pretty crazy, and I look forward to the rest of it because it feels like they're gonna get really like in depth into everything, and we've seen the birth of what him becoming a father of the Minnesota Twins was, though, when he went in that weekend. So the first game that his dad has ever went to go visit him, and he bawled out, like, yeah. But so you could tell with the way that he talked about his dad, though, that he still has that anger in him, though.
Yeah.
And he swore that he would never do that to that he would always be like to his credit, he's always been a very good dad with his daughters, and you could tell that with the way that they are. And, I just remember myself just doing the same kind of thing, like just making that promise to be a very good dad no matter what.
Yeah, it shows. You get those details. Like, I don't know if I knew that they ever met up again. I don't know if this was the first time that was ever revealed, or at least the details of it. And there's some heavy moments with all that stuff and some off the field things, and then on the field they talked about a lot of like his free agency and where he ends up with the
that contract
Rangers.
Was crazy at the time, man.
Like, it's like I understood intellectually like how crazy that contract was. Like I knew that,
dude, double the amount of the next highest sports contract, not even baseball contract.
Like that's like last year, if the Mets had just given Soto, similar spot with how old he was and all that, like I believe the number would be like well over $1 billion if they gave him that this year. If you just went like double the next highest contract, take Ohtani's out of it because that one's quirky, but it's that's crazy. And I wonder, as we're probably going to get into some of the PED stuff this episode. They talked about at the time, like the story was that all the pressure of that contract and everything, and how that like made him feel that pressure to do those and keep his performance at a premium. I wonder how much that scandal was 15 years ago or whatever. Right, like there's a whole generation of people probably between getting into sports and literally not being alive. Like both your kids were not born yet then. Right. Like I don't know if people like really understood how crazy that contract was, how much pressure there was. There was like nowadays there's so much more of a sentiment around sports of like good for the player when they get that deal. Or like of course they took the highest deal like naturally, and A-Rod getting that deal might have been in a lot of ways the start of that 20 years ago. But yeah, it's like putting it in that context and talking about how much hate he was getting and how much everybody was just on him about like going after the money. He's like, yeah, I remember when I was a kid and free agents happened, you would just like if a player left simply to take more money, you would just call them greedy and move on. Did. And like, yeah, it's just so different now.
I remember Johnny Damon leaving the Yankees, and then they went back to Fenway Park, and they were just throwing money in center field. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that's pretty wild. I think with A-Rod, a lot of the stuff that I learned also is how different baseball was back then. Just Lou Piniella and how he helped develop him and how much he loves him. He says, oh, we would have taken care of Alex. Like, none of that stuff would have happened if he was here. So he's just kind of feeling like he had bad guidance the whole way. And by the way, A-Rod got sent down 5 times.
Yeah, how about that?
That's a novel idea, Yankee-wise, right? Like, they don't like to do that because it'll destroy a kid's confidence or whatever it is. Hey, it's like a sink or swim situation. Like, hey, figure it out. They got A-Rod was 18 and 19 and all of that stuff, and you can do that then. But
sure, it's not exactly the same as some situations I've seen. But
that's the guy that had flashes. That's the guy that you drafted number 1 overall and had flashes of superstardom. I don't know if I've seen that with other people that they refuse to send down, but I mean,
they fast tracked him to the big leagues. He plays 17 games in that first taste. You're starting in July. It's not like he came up at the very end of the year, played 2 weeks,
right?
Whatever. Then 95, he only plays 48 games. Like they were sending him up and down, and he's 20 years old in 1996, and wins the batting title in his first like real full year after like learning so much those 2 years before, after having been fast tracked and the clock was started. I know it was a little different scope back then as far as what that means, but it makes you think about some things that we were thinking about as we did our off-season plans earlier in this episode.
Just saying, but
yeah,
but
the documentary's a good watch. It's fun. I think they're about to get into more Yankee-specific stuff if that's what you need to, as a listener of this show, to get you into
now
it.
I think, they talked about the Rangers.
And they talked about how the Rangers wasn't going well. So I think these next couple eps are going to be pretty Yankee-heavy. If you're listening to Talkin' Yanks, that probably
They said that this one that we just watched, or the one that they released, was the shortest one. So the next ones will be longer, and there'll be more in, it's like it'll be those will be the rough ones.
It's where scandals happened that they're talking about. Like this was definitely kind of setting up. Episode's good. Check it out. HBO.
Can't wait to see it.
Cannot wait to see it. Go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.